I'll tell you, as a lawyer who's been, doing this work with you for now for a while, I find that it was something that wasn't even on my radar screen before I started working with you. It was normally, okay, what is the substance and what, specifically am I saying? But this self-assessment and self-awareness of, what I was feeling, was always getting shut down because I was always, as an attorney, afraid to admit, what was so apparent that, I was nervous and I wanted to do the best job I could. But, there was a nerve-wracking thing. So it was one of those things where it was like hoping and hoping and hoping that those nerves would turn into positive energy. And they would, but it would take a little bit longer than necessary to get there. And, and that would be a little bit distracting to keeping the flow of the story or the flow of the argument. So I agree with you wholeheartedly that this is a technique that gives you such awareness of what your body is doing, and the compassion that you that you approach it with allows you to work on yourself little by little in a very, without any stress and without any pressure to be results oriented. And I think that it's a beautiful gift that we can give ourselves when we, come to a class like this and we're here for the first time working on ourselves.
And again, that thing of what was once enthusiasm very quickly, because enthusiasm and anxiety start as the same physiological experience. And we used to be enthusiastic as children, but the more people shut us down. Okay, that's nice. Okay, and then it gets older. As we get older, the social stuff of friends like, oh, you're too much or whatever it is. We learn that when we feel that enthusiasm, to stuff it down so that we're safe, and we get really, really, really good at that. And again, I think one of the biggest takeaways from this is doing this in a space with other people, other human beings that are going through their own thing, and you are in a public space. And the more that you go through these experiences, like after the channel work, we started to get into resonator work and how all these different places of our voice express different emotions, and that as we go up into those higher energies, higher expression of emotion, higher pitches, that's where we tend to really start to shut down. So in those moments, those closing arguments, those moments where, the stakes are this much higher than they were Monday, and now it's Friday, and hopefully this is the last day of trial. And one of the things I really have brought into the work that I do, this somatic work of Feldenkrais with the work of the Linklater voice technique, is to really befriend the feeling of nervousness, because we are nervous for a reason. We are nervous because we care so much. And that is actually a great thing. We don't want to lose that. What we want to feel is that those nerves can also energize us. And while we're feeling them, we can still keep expressing ourselves without feeling, is my face doing something? Or am I like, oh, I'm talking from my throat, and we can get very, passionate, and it's all stuck down here. So I think that's the really great thing about it, is to learn to be comfortable with those feelings, because those feelings shouldn't go away. And I think anyone that cares, especially someone in trial in front of the judge and working for their client, I'm assuming that there are going to be nerves because you care. And that's something you want to work with, not away from.